Santa and Christmas, they go like hand in a glove, don't they? But over the years, Santa Claus has changed, hasn't he? Harley Sims is a good friend of this program and now resides, down in Halifax. We can't have you in, Harley, because you moved with that other person that is at our Atlantic Bureau, Chris Sims. So we wanted to have you on, though, to talk about Santa Claus and the evolution of the jolly old elf. How has he changed over the years to what we have now? And is it just a marketing ploy of Coca-Cola that some people would have you believe?
No, that's actually an urban legend. Santa didn't originate with Coca-Cola, even the red and white image that they used. He was even used by a beverage company before that. I think White Rock's beverages several decades earlier. So Coca-Cola just popularized something that was established. We talk about the origins of Santa as opposed to the origins of gift giving and Christmas. We talk about, of course, St. Nicholas of Myra, who was a 4th century bishop in what is now Turkey. Okay, not much factually is known of his life, although, of course, there are a lot of legends. It said he was very pious from birth. He would refuse his mother's breast milk when he needed to fast. But he went on and became this patron saint of a number of things, like a huge list of them, actually, everything from pawnbrokers to Vikings even, because he was the patron saint of the Varangian Guard that, looked after the, a lot of the relics and holy sites in Constantinople, the guardian of the emperor. But anyway, he became the patron saint of children. He's probably best known for 2 stories. The first is the man who could not afford dowries for his 3 daughters. So he was forced to sell them into prostitution. But before this could happen, St. Nicholas came and threw 3 bags of gold in through his window.
The gold sack through the window, yeah. Okay.
That's right, yeah. Another version has him dropping, I think, the final one down his chimney. But then, of course, they had dowries and they could find good husbands. The second one, which is a little more gruesome, has a terrible famine in the land, and an evil innkeeper lures 3 children in, and he actually kills them, chops them up, and puts them into brine barrels. Okay, and St. Nicholas finds out about this. He goes and he actually resurrects the children, restores them to life, and has the innkeeper repent. Later on, I think in another version, they become clerks, students, so he becomes a patron saint of students. And in the Middle Ages, actually, he became second in popularity only to the Virgin Mary among saints. He was known for galloping across the rooftops in his gray steed, depositing toys for children. Children were given gifts on his feast day, which is December 6th. I think December 5th at night they were given out.
December 6th, I just want to interrupt you there because it is a famous beer out of Switzerland called St. Stanislaus that is only brewed and released on that day. And that's actually how I learned that was that. But maybe that says more about me than about St. Nicholas. So sorry for interrupting. No. Go on.
I know that in some places in Europe, they actually leave Santa's spirits to drink, brandy, beer, things like that, which, it's a little better than the milk and cookies when you consider how much he has to drink.
Yeah.
But in the Middle Ages, he was, like I said, he was so famous, so celebrated. And when the Protestant Reformation came around in the 16th century, of course, what they called the cult of the saints was, despised in Protestant countries, and he was cast out with a lot of them. But of course, he has strong secular appeal as well, and it was among the Dutch, the Protestant Dutch in New York, in the United States, who were able to kind of reinvent this character, secularize him. He was still called Sinterklaas, but he was made something more of a reveler, a big, fat, jolly drinker. And it was actually in a very short period in the early 19th century when a number of works came out, the most famous being The Night Before Christmas by Clement C. Moore, which established most of what we think we know about Santa. Of course, Santa himself doesn't talk much about this. You try to get his background, anything else, and he just laughs it off, and he wants to get straight to the presents. What can I bring for you? And so these are things we think we figured out, right? And so these poems, the 8 reindeer, his outfit, his big white beard, even his smoking a pipe, were all kind of established in the early 19th century. And since then, there hasn't been much done to change that. It's been celebrated, it's been developed and elaborated through novels, L. Frank Baum.
I want to ask you, though, because there is a movie out right now that my daughter saw earlier in the week, my oldest daughter, and it changes Santa a little bit. This is The Rise of the Guardians, and it says that he's not Canadian.
Yeah, William Joyce's Guardians of Childhood books. They have the Easter Bunny, Jack Frost, I think the Sandman, and of course Nicholas St. North, who is actually Santa Claus, and they make him into a Russian. He's this big Russian guy with his Russian accent. He's got ink up his forearms, naughty on one and nice on the other, and he kicks butt. And,
you know, I don't mind that part, but I do mind the idea that Santa is Russian, because we all know that he lives in the North Pole, and we all know that that's in Canada. So I just want to read you a statement from the Citizenship and Immigration Department of the Government of Canada, okay? In this, you know, I think this should put them at rest. It says, "We are honored that Santa begins his annual journey in Canada, and as a Canadian citizen living in Canada's north, he may re-enter the country freely at the end of his international trip." So I don't mind them taking artistic license, but I think that sets the record straight.
That's true. I think another interesting tidbit about Santa, especially in terms of St. Nicholas, was that some of his relics were actually brought to a church in Manhattan, and those relics were destroyed on September 11th, along with the church and the terrorist attacks. I mean, there's so much background to Santa, and there's so much fictional development. I mean, it's tough to unravel what the truth of it all is. Santa doesn't seem to care much about it. And the interesting thing, though, is that someone like him, someone immortal, someone with so much influence, there's no copyright protection for him. There's no PR representation. Anyone, it seems,
people can say whatever they want.
That's right. That's why you can use him. David Suzuki can use him. Coke can use him. Any group, any organization or business is able to use Santa without paying royalties at all.
Harley, thanks for coming in, and thanks for helping us sort through all this. It's been a pleasure. Again, I want to leave everyone with a little video of NORAD, our fighter jets, out there making sure that the way is clear for Santa on Christmas.